You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Much like Connor McDavid, I too am just very excited for the 2025-26 Oilers. Let's get into it with the lead. Maybe this has nothing to do with McDavid's desire to be an Oiler. Maybe he's being honest. He's just really excited for the 2025-2026 season.
Who isn't?
Exactly. That's what I mean. He's so pumped he can't even begin to think about contracts.
I am fired up about
Me too.
the excitement I have waiting for this season.
What the hell's going on with that?
What happened?
Why are we so wonky? Did I move?
Am I moved?
No, what about Reese? Move the camera, Reese.
Hold on, guys.
While Reese does that, I'll tell you all that we are coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. That's much better. Sportscloset.ca, from jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger. You'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. You know what I did this morning?
Shower.
Went to the Sports Closet.
Really?
Yeah. Picked up 2 Ryan Nugent-Hopkins jerseys for Jay because he's going to an ATB event and getting them signed.
Oh.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So
how was the McDavid sales?
Yeah, and then I have a question about this. So I went and bought them for Jay, and he's like, don't worry, I'll e-transfer you.
Yeah,
all right.
Hopefully.
So I got the 2 jerseys, Sports Closet, very good,
Yeah.
$420. Jay only e-transferred me $400, but I sent him a picture of the receipt. Do I ask for the other 20? Or
it's $400. I'm keeping the jerseys.
Should I hold him hostage?
100%. Jay, if you're watching, which you should be, you're our boss, you should support us.
Yeah.
You owe Tyler $25.
20. Actually, you know what? An extra 5.
Yeah, tip.
Yeah, a tip. Late fee. I'm
You
charging
said
interest.
$425.
420. 420, but he only sent me 400. Yeah, I think
That's kind of bullshit.
maybe he read the receipt wrong.
Tough ones to read wrong. Come on, Jay.
Come on, Jay.
We know you've
trying to
we know you've
shortchange
got the
me.
money. I
Anyways.
found out my stat that I was telling you right before the show.
Oh,
NFL favorites of 4.5 points. It says plus. Yeah, so 4.5 or more points. So 12-0 straight up this year. Dating back to week 11 last year.
Okay.
They're 52-8, 86%. Those favorites are also 36-23-1 against the spread over that time.
36-23-1. Wow.
Yeah, so there you go.
Bet the Bills tomorrow. That stat is brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Boy, the Connor McDavid situation is just the gift that keeps on giving. If the gift is you getting punched in the dick once every 48 hours.
That was just annoying.
This whole thing's getting a little bit annoying.
I don't again, I still remain at a 0. I listened to the interview and we'll talk about it obviously, but it's like, I know he's being patient and everything, but I need hockey to start just so we can avoid this a little bit.
But if he's not signed when the hockey starts, this ain't getting avoided.
But it'll be avoided at least, or pushed slightly to the back because the others will be playing games. And I'll be able to talk about them playing the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? That's the only silver lining.
But every time they have a bad week where they go 1-3, it's just, we talked about this 5 weeks ago where every single time the Oilers lose 3 in a row or whatever, it'll just be, every time McDavid struggles, every time McDavid banks his stick on the boards after a game, it'll be like, oh boy. Oh boy, every time McDavid shoots a glare, bad bot, the whole thing is never going to stop. And I mean, we're living through a bit of it right now because every time McDavid speaks to the media, what does he get asked about? It's this. And what do people want to dissect, right? They want to parse through every quote. Why is he saying this? Why is he saying that? And I get it. What's what we're about to do today?
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
Do you think that, because Elliotte and Kyle on 32 Thoughts asked him, what have you asked for the Oilers and all that stuff? What are you looking for here? And he says, basically nothing. Do you think he just needs that feeling of remembering what it's like again? To, be in Rogers' place, to have the crowd erupt after a big goal. It's have that moment of, this city is awesome to play in. I maybe not necessarily is that what he needs, but is that what's going to push it over the line of just reigniting the flame a little bit? Had some time to step away, and I know the playoffs are awesome. But
what if people boo him on opening night?
Then you're foolish.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Don't do that.
You're the problem.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Reese, we have the audio from that one, right? Where this is from the 32 Thoughts podcast. McDavid on what he needs from Edmonton. Maybe.
We'll wait.
All right, maybe. We have 3 clips. We have McDavid on taking his time, McDavid on what he needs from Edmonton, and McDavid on believing in 2025-6. But beyond that, question mark? Who knows? Do we have what he needs? Yes, just audio. Okay, play it. I want to hear it. I want to hear McDavid's words. I don't think that's playing, but anyways, McDavid again. It does concern me a little bit, Liam, when you hear Connor McDavid say, like, when he's asked, like, what do you need to see from the Oilers? And it was a pretty point-blank question from Elliotte Friedman. Yeah. And he kind of goes like, oh, nothing. And then he says something, he goes, it's a feeling.
Yeah.
And maybe that lends to what you're saying, where, like, yeah, he needs to get back in there and feel the Rogers Place crowd and have some big moments with Leon to be like, oh, yeah, why would I ever leave this? Like, life here is really good and I have a great chance to win. But there's also a flip side of that for me. Like, you're definitely more of glass half full on all of this, and your glass is actually probably 99% full. I'm maybe more of 97. The glass. There you go. I'm maybe more of the glass half empty side of things, and I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate. I understand that. But, like, Connor shouldn't have forgotten what a rockin' Rogers Place is like. Connor shouldn't be forgetting what it's like to play with Leon Draisaitl and have success in Edmonton and all of that stuff. Like, Connor shouldn't forget any of that. So the fact he's sitting there and going, well, it's a feeling, and like when the feeling's there, like I'll know. It's like, why did that feeling go away?
Yeah, I mean, totally. It's not like the playoffs are a million miles away, right? Like they only stopped playing 3 months ago, or whatever it was.
Exactly.
So yeah, you'd think that maybe would be more fresh in his memory, but sometimes it is like maybe he's just not into it right now, but not in the sense of like he's not into the Oilers. Maybe he's just like. He truly is just focused on like preparing himself for the season. It's a big year for him. Outside of the Oilers, it's also an Olympic year, and he spoke about that in his thing of being like, I need to balance myself a little bit here. So maybe he's just focused on a different thing, and maybe we should also just believe him when he says like, I'm just not in a rush, which is not ideal for us, but that's what he is. And Leon was the one for me that kind of like turned it around for me in the interview because it doesn't start well.
No,
No.
Mulek says his comment about Morgan Wallen coming to town rubbed me wrong. What did he say about that?
Oh yeah, that was not good.
What did he say? I missed that part.
He basically, so they obviously asked him, and he basically said we were going to go either way, but he was like, why would Morgan Wallen come to Edmonton?
60,000 person stadium.
Yeah,
big
but
country
he made
music.
It seem like Edmonton just wasn't a good place for him to come.
Weird. That was weird. But you're right. The McDavid one wasn't good. And then Draisaitl was like a very calming voice in that 32 Thoughts podcast where he kind of says like, I'm not nervous. And like, if Leon's not nervous, why should any of us be, right? The two of them are very close behind the scenes, all of that. Like, if Leon would have echoed exactly what Connor said, I may have been a little bit more like, ooh, why is Leon all of a sudden talking about he's like, if Leon would have came out and been like, I'm really excited and I'm going to take in like this year of playing with Connor and like, you know, there's pressure on us to win this year, then I might have been like, ooh, that's a guy who maybe knows this guy is leaving.
He said they didn't really talk about it too much. Like he said they was just like normal conversation, but I guess too, and I was trying to put myself in like their position of like being friends. Like you don't I know it's different because it's the NHL, but like you don't really talk about that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like your friendships with people is like your breakaway from work, essentially, you know? So it makes sense.
Not us, though. We only ever talk about work.
Yes, we do. Strictly work conversations.
And like Mulek says, like he talked down on Edmonton.
Yeah,
there is, and this is a Brett, who does our social clips, this is a no clip segment. No clip. Don't want this on the internet. There's a little part of this whole thing. McDavid's come off as a bit arrogant.
Oh, if you don't want to say it, don't say it.
But like he kind of has, right? Like this goes back to a few weeks ago when he did the whole like, if it's going to be a distraction for guys, it's not a me problem. Okay, Connor, this ain't a me and them team here. Like Oilers, you're the captain. You run the room. You set the culture. If you're going to sit there and kind of shrug and be like, it's not a me problem if guys can't. Dude, your contract being a distraction is a team issue. It will affect how the team operates throughout the year. And you turning a blind eye and basically going like, I'm going to act however I want. I don't care about the team. Like that is, and not that he said he didn't care about the team, but he didn't care how the team would react to it. that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Him doing the whole short-term, long-term, could be no term. Like, why say that, man? Like, there's just been a few things that he's done, and I guess this Morgan Wallen thing would fall into the category as well of like, why are you talking like that now? Because he never talked like that in the past. And granted, in the past, he wasn't in a contract situation, so it didn't have to come out. But like, I don't know, man. That's just weird to me. It rubs me the wrong way just a little bit.
Could be could he be a new agent? You know what I mean? Like, is he being told? Like, no, he's not a robot.
But like, I don't think Connor should be listening to his agent in that regard.
The negotiations, he's like, hey, like, maybe, I don't know.
But we know there are no negotiations. The Oilers will give him whatever he wants.
The other side of it for me, though, like, Leon also said something similar to that. It would be like, shouldn't be a distraction for anyone. He didn't say it quite as aggressively as what McDavid did, but he just said, he's like, no, like, we're strong enough that he's like, the only people that make it a story is the media. He said, we don't care.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The one thing that's bugging me, and
I'm not turning on McDavid either, Rusty. Like, not at all. Like, again, he's doing what's best for him. I totally get it. Like, it's fine. I'm just saying some of the things he said have kind of rubbed me the wrong way, being like, dude, captain of the hockey team. Like, that's not how I think the leader of this group should be speaking right now. Yeah. But also, I don't think it should have gotten to this point. And there's a couple of things where, again, him talking about the feeling, like the feeling will be there. That is a little bit like, oh, so your heart's not totally in Edmonton right now.
Well, he just got back.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's not been here. So that's, I don't know. I really do think this will all just come to an end of McDavid signs.
And okay, quickly, I'll get to a couple comments. YouTube chat brought to you by Odd Company Brewing and the Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. Find one, visit them, one of their 2 locations in Edmonton, downtown, or the Ritchie location. Brian said he's likely sick of asking about it, and it's discouraging for him. Then sign. Or stop doing interviews. One of the two.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Although, if he stopped doing interviews too, how would that look?
Well, yeah, that too,
I mean?
right?
Like,
I mean, but like, why did he do 32 Thoughts?
Eventually, he's just going to get to a point where everyone's asked him the question, they just can't ask him anymore.
Yeah, and that's fair too.
I do think we're getting to that point.
Yeah,
like, we've already. How long has he been in now? 2 weeks or so, let's say. He's done all that with the media. He's done his 32 Thoughts, which, to be fair to him, he does every year. He didn't go on the NHL media tour because he was in Edmonton, the place he hates so much. And
I think he didn't go because he didn't want to get asked a million questions, which is,
I think so too.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking of it out loud, the NHL probably said, "Hey, sure, don't go to media tour, but you're doing Kyle and Elliotte in Edmonton."
Yeah, maybe
that was probably part of the trade-off because that is a big rights holder deal. Like the media tour day and those guys getting their interviews and Sportsnet getting all their tape. So there was probably a bit of a trade-off there where it's like, no, you're doing a sit-down. So again, he probably didn't, quote, agree, or he did agree to do 32 Thoughts, but he was probably pushed pretty hard on all of it.
Diaz, and I don't think this will happen, but like, what if Bowman doesn't get this done? Like a big reason why he was brought in is because of the contract situation with Taves and Kane. Like,
you got it done. Someone else, and this is maybe the last thing we'll do, and then I'll turn to a quick thing. And we do have David Pagnotta coming up, who's going to talk to us about a whole bunch of other stuff as well. But someone said if he's not signed by opening day, you can't risk losing him for nothing. I could.
Yes, you can.
You absolutely you 1,000% risk losing him for nothing.
Yes.
If you're going into this season. In your calculation as the Oilers, if you're like, man, going into the year means there's like an 80% chance he walks at the end, you take the 20% chance that he comes back. Like, 100%. You take the chance that you can win this year. Like, again, sure, would like watching McDavid sign somewhere else, like truly sign somewhere else next July 1, would that suck and set you back?
Yes.
And from an asset perspective, would trading him at the deadline to Tampa Bay for Braden Point be smarter? Like, I mean, yes, I suppose. But if you think there's a 10% chance at the deadline that he still signs with you, you need to take the chance. This is the best player of his generation. This is one of the best players in NHL history. You 1,000% risk losing him for nothing because you take as much time and you keep him in the fold as long as you can.
And Gord said it right there too. He's like, he has a no movement clause, so he holds the cards.
Well, and
also too, like, it would literally have to come to the point of like, he literally says, I will not play here any longer.
Yeah.
That is the only way you get rid of him. If he just refuses to sign, like, there's no way. Then he says, trade me now. And I don't think it would ever get to that point either.
And I would like the clip of this, because I'm sure we will do it, to include this at the start. Ready? 3, 2, 1. This is very dumb, and we're only going to talk about it once. The idea of trading McDavid. You 1,000% take the risk that you lose him for nothing. If it means there's still a chance, you keep him around after this year. There is no in-season trade coming. He will be an Oiler for all of 2025-26. After that, if he's not signed, whatever, yeah, sure. Which brings me to something I want to do, and then we'll get to David Pagnotta in 5 minutes. I got some Connor McDavid conspiracy theories. You tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how realistic they are. Okay? 10 being like, oh, that I believe that. 1 being like, Tyler, you're being a flat earther. Which
might be true.
What's NASA? What really is NASA?
Oh, I've never seen him.
I've never seen the moon.
Show me the flag on the moon.
Okay. Connor McDavid is taking his sweet time because he's actually still considering 8 years.
I agree.
So you're close to what number? 1 to 10?
Oh, can I change it a little bit?
Sure.
Considering the term. So yeah, I would think he is considering 8 years. I would say 10. I think that's what's happening. So there was one thing that we didn't mention. Elliotte and Kyle said after they were interviewed him, and they sat right across from him, they both believe that was a man who has made a decision, and they both believe he's staying. They said that. So that's the thing.
So what why you should have said that at 12:01. We could have saved ourselves 15 minutes
to think about some things, get some thoughts out there. So yes, I believe 10. I would say I'll give it 9.
Right, like maybe this whole thing of him being like, I need to think about what's best for my family. I only get one crack at this. Like all this, maybe he is legitimately sitting there going like, man, this team having cost certainty and knowing they have me for the next 8 years, maybe that does help us win. There is a world where that happens. Like maybe we're taking all of this ambiguity and all of this as like a negative. Maybe it's because he loves Edmonton so much.
Yeah, maybe. I just need to say something to the chat. This is a huge conversation.
Birds aren't real.
McDavid spoke. Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. McDavid spoke to Elliotte Friedman about his contract situation. We will be talking about this. So everyone who's like, move on. No. So he's our captain. He's the best player since Gretzky to play here. He's not signed. We have to talk about it.
Conspiracy theory number 2. The little rumored blow up that we heard after the Cup final was way worse than what we hear.
Oh, yeah.
You buy that?
Yes.
So you're buying both that he's considering a lot of term, and you maybe buy the fact that there was a rift in the room, or there is still a rift?
No, I don't think there is a rift in the room. I think there's a rift in... He just needs to see it again. He needs to see what he said, hypothetically, is hit the guys. Like, is happening. There's a lot of turnover on this team. Like, Hyman gone. And Hyman's gone. Hyman's here. He's injured.
He's hurt, yeah.
I meant Albertson, Skinner. Like, there was a lot of passengers last year. And they're gone now. And you've got guys who are here under secure contracts now.
And for people who are like, what blow up, there's behind the scenes been, like, some rumblings that maybe... the room not had it out, but there were some words said after they lost game 6, which is like totally understandable.
Because they were terrible.
Because they got their asses kicked in back-to-back games in the Stanley Cup final and lost a second straight Stanley Cup final.
And that's why you hear of like, they weren't disappointed after
they were loss. Angry this year.
They were angry because they played so poorly.
Yep.
Draisaitl kind of addressed that a little bit.
Oh, did he?
He just said, he's like, we didn't play to the standard. And like, we had no answer for Florida. And it's true.
Yeah. Those are my 2. He's actually considering
a full list.
Well, he's actually considering 8 years as like one end of the spectrum, and I kind of thought you would be other end of the spectrum of like things got really bad, and he's nervous that the room's like not what it was.
No, I think it's all true.
Yeah, you think you're buying into all of that?
Yeah, I do. Here's a conspiracy theory. He's already signed. There's a contract signed.
But then why would we do this?
Because he needs to see it. He's waiting. He has the contract signed. He hasn't given it to them yet. It's probably like a 2.
I don't know. Yeah, that one's low.
It's a fun one though.
Yeah, the idea that he's literally where I'll buy that a little bit is to the extent of like he already knows that he is going to do a 4-year deal at $16.5 million. He knows he's doing it. He's just doing this sweat to kind of show the Oilers like, hey, don't take me for granted. He's doing this to show the team, like, you all better be fucking dialed in from the day training camp starts.
I agree. Because last year and the year before, they were not.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a big thing this year. I think McDavid does have uncertainty, despite him only talking about how excited he is for this one season. There is a lot of question marks about the team. I think last season there was a lot of question marks about the team, but we just didn't see him yet.
Yeah.
Where this year, as a fan base, I think a lot of us would agree, we're a bit more like cognizant of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe our free agent signings won't each score 30 goals. You know what I mean? Like last season, our expectations for Skinner and Arvidsson were so high, and they flopped, both of them.
Yeah.
Where this year is like we're talking about Mangiapane, and I think everyone's tempered expectations. Yes, he scored 30 goals one year, but what if he only gets 12 this year? Where that's actually still a good thing. Like he's only has to replace what did Arvidsson get? I think they got combined 31, right? Yeah. Well, a lot of question marks. We still don't really know how good Trim Frederick is. Signed in for 8 years. I think it'll be fine. We're going to find out pretty damn quick. Hopefully we find out in a good way. Goaltending a big question mark still. Skinner's lost weight.
So, first off, this started with Bob saying Skinner looks a lot lighter and he's moving a lot quicker. Yeah. So maybe this is a conversation I have with like Dubnyk or Hutton to be like, hey, like what do we think this could mean for his game? Do you actually think the mobility was an issue last year? All of that stuff. But he is listed 25 pounds lighter this season.
That's good.
That's good. That's really good.
His lateral movement was down. That was something everyone would point out pretty consistently. We'll see. I mean, he's trying to make the Olympic team.
Also, for people who are doing the whole like look at the team program, he's 25 pounds lighter. Teams lie on those.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Remember the rookie game when I was like, how many of the guys you think are 6 feet are actually 6 feet? Not a lot of them.
It is funny.
They listed Kyler Yamamoto as like 5'8" for a couple of years. He wasn't 5'8".
It is funny when this happens way more in junior hockey than the NHL. But when teams do it to like get guys on central scouting, for example, or like get noticed, being like, oh, this guy's 6'2", like unbelievable. And then you go to your league showcase and the NHL central scouting is actually there and they measure and weigh every single player, they'd never line up.
Yeah, no.
Carter Savoy, sorry, you were never 6 foot.
No.
Maybe 5'10".
Did you have to lie though when he was a Crusader? Did you have to put 6
I never
foot?
brought it up until this moment.
Wow.
Liam. Blood bond.
Do I think all birds are government drones? No. But
just
I think
pigeons.
Well, no, I think there might just be like, I think it might just be something they do. Like, I think there might be some bird drones out there, you know? Bob said 15 pounds in his interview with Mac D on Monday. Exactly. Everyone lies. Also, wouldn't 25 pounds in 3 months be like a lot?
It might have been. Well, I mean, like they'll weigh them at the start of the season. It could have been a long one.
Yeah. No Pagnotta yet, right? All right. So then let's get to a Sherwood Ford Giant question brought to you by our friends over at Sherwood Ford the Giant. Check them out in the heart of Sherwood Park. Sherwood Ford and Ford employee pricing is on now. It is a great time to get yourself into a new vehicle before the winter. We're going to change up a little bit from our script, but Stan Bowman pretty explicitly saying he is not interested in Carter Hart.
Why?
Flat out says no. But Liam, what if I told you there was a way for the Oilers to get a goalie from the 2017 World Junior team?
With multiple connections.
With multiple connections to the Oilers.
One deep rooted, we assume.
Yeah. Connor Ingram out in Utah. He is not going to be at Mammoth training camp.
No.
The team coming out and saying they are mutually working on finding him a new home.
Potentially putting him on waivers.
But they're going to work towards finding him a new home. He had a really good season 2 years ago. Had a .907, I believe, for who would have been the Arizona Coyotes, obviously. Last year, went to the NHL Player Assistance Program. Never really found his footing during the year. And now he, again, is looking for a new home. What makes Ingram interesting is the fact that he is relatively young. There would be a bit of an upside play here. What makes this whole thing difficult is the fact that his contract is not like a league minimum, whatever. It's $1.95 million for this year.
I wonder. So, for those of you who don't know, the reason he was in the players assistant program is because his mother passed away.
Yeah, I mean,
and that was I didn't know the assistance program did that.
Yep.
So that's a big reason why. And I think he might be like too far away from his family. He's actually, if you remember the story from last year. He's from the same hometown as Chris Knobloch.
Yeah.
Imperial, Saskatchewan. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ingram's family and Knobloch's family took like a bus to Edmonton to watch the Oilers play Utah.
Someone said that last
I think
year
that's what happened. I wonder if this kind of goes down, I know it wouldn't necessarily work with the location right away, but like, what if he goes to an Western Canadian team, Oilers, Calgary, Vancouver, whoever, and he just says to the league, like, hey, do you remember Jason Spezza did it? I know it's a little bit different, but he's just like, let me go down to the American League, get my game, and like just let him go through waivers. Like, I wonder if there can be an agreement throughout the league.
Well, I'm sure you're right. Spezza did do that, where he was like, hey, if anyone claims me, I will retire.
Yeah.
And Ingram maybe could be like, hey, if anyone claims me, I'm not reporting. Yeah. But the other part of this is, if that was the case, like if he was like, hey, I want to end up in Edmonton, or I want to go to the American League, like there are ways around it. Also, I do think, just looking at Utah, because people were pointing out the contract, I obviously pointed out the contract. Utah has $6.68 million on their cap, with all three of Vemelka, Vanacek, and Ingram on their roster. There's 1 year left of Connor Ingram. They have no retained money on the books. They could just keep half of Connor Ingram, and then the Oilers could waive Calvin Pickard and fit Ingram in, and they would actually be up, I think, like $25,000 on the cap. So, again, I don't mind the idea of Connor Ingram at all. He's 28, so like not a tremendous amount of upside, but he doesn't have a lot of miles on him. 102 career NHL games. And again, we're talking about a guy who in 2023-24 had a .907 save percentage in what was his first and only full season as a starter. So
interesting career.
But
on his day, he's good. He's just got to find his day.
Yeah, totally. You also, again, Pickard in the room. He's loved. Went to Morgan Wallen with Connor. Would Connor Ingram have gone to Morgan Wallen? We don't know. So again, you do your due diligence if you're the Oilers. Should we?
Also another thing from the Elliotte Friedman interview was that Calvin Pickard is the second player in the dressing room every day.
Who's
Leon
first?
Draisaitl.
Oh,
20 minutes ahead of everyone. Leon.
Maybe it's like a carpool thing though, right?
What, and Pickett stays in the car for 20 minutes whilst Leon's in there alone?
No, he's parking. Drops Leon off at the doors and goes to park. Okay, let's get up to the Star Mechanical Guest Line, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.com or .ca, I should say. Residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency service. They do it all. They do it well. As we welcome David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period. David, welcome back to the show. How was your summer?
It was quiet. It was nice. It was a little trip to Milan, little trip to Vegas for the media tours and everything. That was the highlight. But not a lot of activity. So I got some R&R, and I don't know if the liver liked it that much, but yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Man, you love these European player media tours, hey? That's just a nice little way to do a work vacation.
Yeah, I mean, look, that one, the Global Series, usually this year it's in Stockholm. I've been a bunch. Maybe I'll go again in November. Little excuse to get over there. But any chance I get to kind of venture off into that environment, I'm probably going to take it.
All right. The pleasantries are out of the way. Let's get down to business. If you would have been told on July 1st that Connor McDavid would open training camp without a contract, again, put yourself back in your July 1 brain. How surprised would you have been that this has played out the way it has?
Pretty surprised. Going back to then. I mean, I still believe he's gonna ink up. It's just a matter of to what degree. But I am surprised. You know, he hasn't gotten locked in to this point. Again, be it a short-term deal, midterm, the full 8, whatever it ends up being. I'm still surprised that we've started camp, or at least media day today, without pen to paper on an extension. And like, he's the one driving the bus on this. It's his call when he's ready to commit. And by commit, I mean in terms of term, because again, I do believe he's going to. It's just a matter of when he feels most comfortable and what direction he wants to go in. Maybe he wants to see how the start of the season goes, and that'll dictate the type of term that he wants to jump in on. Let's see how the young kids do. How does Savoy do? Howard and whoever else. How's the makeup of this team going to be over the course of his season? Is Zach Hyman, when he does get back, is he going to be back to normal with the Oilers and move forward? Like, there are a bunch of different, factors here that he's obviously considering. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised that something hasn't happened to that effect by today.
Do you think the start of the season will kind of dictate which way this goes? Like, the Oilers last few years have had horrible starts of the season, to put it politely. I think, like, if they start off really well, do you think, like, he keeps talking about that and have to have that feeling, like, Do you think that triggers the feeling?
I think the winning will trigger more than a potential slump to start, because just how long the season is, and I think he's going to take that into account. If you get off to a hot start, it kind of you get a little more excited. Okay, fine, let's figure this out. When you're in a if you start 8-12, for example, or something like that in the first 20, then it gives them a little bit of pause to say, okay, well maybe I just want to do 2 or 3 years here and then just see how things progress. Because if you look at guys like some of the guys on the roster, Hyman's got a couple of years left after this one. Nuge has 3. So do you want to kind of say, okay, well, I want to take this at least for now until the end of this group, the core up front are together, and then, I'll figure it out later at that point. That's, I'm sure, part of the equation as well. There are other players on this team that need contracts going into next season. What's the future of those guys? And obviously, you guys were touching on goaltending earlier. I mean, both of the guys are also in contract years. So how's the future of the net going to look for the Oilers?
The fact you just keep saying is like, I'm so excited for this year and like is like not committed to years after. Like what you just said, like everyone's kind of signed for the next 4 years. Like what this team is. I just can't get my head around that. You know what I mean? Like, is he really waiting for Savoy and Howard to see how good those guys are? Maybe.
Well, I mean, look, there's no draft capital. Other than those guys, what's the prospect pool look like? Like there's not a plethora of talent that's really coming in here that can substitute some of the guys that end up leaving, be it retirement or free agency. So I think from that perspective, it's okay. Let me sign on for 2 more versus 4 more, or something like that. Like I don't see a scenario, even in the best cases, they come off and they're winning 11 straight to start the season. I don't see a scenario where you're going to see Connor in that 6-7 year range. If you're committing to that, you might as well just go 8, and that's kind of the indication that I've gotten. If he's feeling long term, it's the end. It's 8 years. If it's that mid tier or short term, I think that's what's being juggled the most, and that's why he's prefacing this by saying, "I'm focused on this year. I want us to win this year, and when I decide it's right or feel it's right with my wife, my family, and everybody, then I'll commit. But I want to focus on this year." Like the losing back-to-back Stanley Cup championships has taken a toll on a lot of guys. It's taken a shitload on Connor, and that's gonna that weighs a lot. And yeah, he went away a little bit this summer, and Leon's wedding, and all that stuff, and Morgan, and all that stuff is great. But this is still something that's weighing on him considerably. The fact that he's lost back-to-back Stanley Cups. So he wants to focus on this season as much as he can. I understand that. It's just like if he had a couple more years left and he's talking this way, we don't bat an eye. But because of the contract situation, it's getting amplified.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. 2 things that you've said so far that I love. You used the phrase ink up. That's great. I've never heard that one before. And shitload. I like shitload as well. Drop in a little shitload. Another extension, and you've reported on this a little bit. Jake Wallman. Do you think there's a chance this gets done before McDavid gets a deal?
I think there's a possibility some of these guys, like obviously there's been conversations with Ekholm as well. And I know he said at the beginning of the month, got to take care of the big boys first. But I think management knows what it's going to take and what the ranges are for Connor, whether it's 2-year, 4-year, 8-year. So if they speed up these negotiations with Wallman's camp, with Ekholm's side, with whomever else, then I don't think I don't think there's no barrier that's going to get them to the finish line on this one before Connor signs. I think keeping some of these guys will bode well in terms of McDavid's decision at the very least on a short-term deal, excuse me. But they're going to continue these conversations and go back and forth. There's a reason why Wallman's agent went over to sit down and meet with the group, and those conversations typically continue. I think there's a willingness to try to get something done by the start of the regular season. And I don't think not having Connor signed by then will be a detriment to that possibility. It's just a matter of making all these numbers, fit. And we know the cap's going up $8.5 million at least. It's projected to go up by that mark. It could go up even more, guys. It could be over 4.5, 104.5 next year.
That would be really, really interesting for a team like the Oilers, who, again, you can look at Puckpedia and see, whoa, $45 million in cap space. 22 to 23 of that is gone like that once you sign Wallman and McDavid. So they are still tight. They don't have a goalie signed after this year. But speaking of Wallman, I do think there is maybe something to the Oilers signing that guy to a long-term deal before McDavid, because if Connor's sitting there and going, how are we going to compete in years 3 to 6 of, let's say I sign a longer term deal when Ekholm's aged out and Hyman's not who he is and Nuge isn't who he is, but like a 29-year-old Jake Wallman being an important part of that blue line and being able to go to Connor and be like, we have him locked up for 7 seasons after this one. And I even think Trent Frederick, as much as he was wildly disappointing as an Oiler and very banged up, 27 years old. I think Pud Colson, who knows what the offensive upside is this year, but 24 years old. Again, get that guy signed, get Wallman signed, and maybe you can point to McDavid and be like, look, man, it's not going to be all grim in 2 seasons when maybe some guys get a little older.
Yeah, well, it's exactly it. You want to show him that you're keeping the group together and the window open. You're lodging it open as long as you can, especially with guys that are a little bit closer to him. Jake, and he spent some time with Connor over the summer. They're both here in Toronto. The lines of communication, from my understanding, were pretty wide open between those two guys in terms of keeping in touch and whatnot, and discussing and planning out and mapping out this season, which I'm sure Connor has done with a variety of teammates. But again, I don't see McDavid's situation as it plays out right now being a barrier to get anybody else locked up to an extension, including Wallman.
Someone just put it in that chat, and I forgot about it. It was Mitchell. He said there's a lot of guys who are still RFAs. Like Mason McTavish doesn't have a contract. Luke Hughes doesn't have a contract. Are those guys getting done anytime soon, or are they just lingering around waiting for something to go down?
It sounded Luke Evangelista is another one, unless he signed in the last 20 minutes. But in Nashville, he's another one, and I know those negotiations. He, by the way, shares the same agent as Connor McDavid. But I know those negotiations have been tumultuous in Nashville. So I don't know if there's been progress today. I haven't checked in on that yet, but if they don't get it locked in by tomorrow, he may miss out on camp. All of these guys potentially may, even though they're in their respective cities. The one that sounds like it's been making a little bit of progress has been Luke Hughes. It sounds like there's at least an understanding of what that pathway is going to look like in terms of term. I think it's long term. We'll see kind of where they go from that one. McTavish is the interesting one, because the concern there is more so usage than overall dollars. I think obviously that's a concern, and that's a big sticking point in negotiations. But I think for him, since July 1, it's been, where do I play on this team? How am I being utilized? Am I getting power play minutes? Am I a second line guy right now, or am I a third line guy with some of the additions that they've made? So I think for him and his agent, especially, the development of this player and the evolution of his skill set is as much an important factor as what type of contract he's going to get as well. So that one's an interesting one. The most interesting one, quite frankly, for me, is to see how the Ducks, who want to keep him, can navigate around this. And if they can't figure this out and make everything work financially, that's tied into how they're going to utilize him, then maybe they explore the trade market a little bit more seriously, because teams have obviously checked in. But again, the Ducks kind of want to keep this guy. He's a hell of a player.
Here's a fun one. Carter Hart and the other Hockey Canada players. We've heard some GMs, like Tree Living came out and squashed the Dubé stuff immediately, and Bowman came out today and squashed the Carter Hart stuff, and I know the Oilers had done a little bit of that behind the scenes over the last couple of weeks as well. You reported Hart a potential connection to Utah, but the fact that kind of 2 organizations now have kind of come out, and 2 pretty high-profile ones, and the Oilers and Leafs have been like, nah, we're not going down that road. Is there a chance Carter Hart has a tougher time finding a job than we think, or do you still think there's enough teams who just want a piece of that upside?
There's been a lot of interest in Carter Hart. Okay. Whether those get to the finish line or not, like Utah, I know has expressed interest. Whether they want to explore that a lot more seriously, we'll see. Carolina's another one. They've expressed interest. I don't see him going in that. Like, for example, Carolina, Pittsburgh, to my knowledge, Minnesota, Nashville, Edmonton, I believe San Jose, Vegas. Like, a lot of teams have poked around on Carter Hart. But, some of them may, the response may be, okay, we're willing to listen, but here's kind of where our numbers are at. I think you're likely to see Carter Hart in that 2-year range, maybe 3, but I think 2, anywhere in and around that 4 million AAV range. Like
Wow.
it's this isn't going to be a $1 million a year type of scenario, and I think that's what some teams may have thought when they first reached out. You're probably looking at a decent price tag for Carter Hart again on a short term, likely a 2-year deal. It sounds like, and others have reported this too, it sounded to me like as well that it's likely in the Western Conference. We'll see. He's informed Philadelphia that he's not going there. I think he's informed a few other teams, perhaps some of which I mentioned, that they're out of it. But there's been a lot of interest in Carter Hart, and I do suspect that he's going to lock in the next 2 weeks, in and around October 1st. I think a player. So there's. I know in the release and everything they said the league said you can't sign until October 15th, but I think you can have an agreement in place by October 1st. That goes for any of them, and then pen to paper on the 15th, and prorated by like a week by the regular season. So it's not overly it's not a big concern on that. And now with Dubé and McLeod and others, there are teams that have been also inquiring about those players. I think Toronto has internally discussed that possibility. But one of the things that Tree tried to um, add as a sidebar to the Dubé topic was we want to see how our team looks first before we decide if we want to go in that direction or another direction. Because he also mentioned that they're looking at still interested in the top 6 position, like 30 other teams. So we'll see.
Shoot me down on this if you think it's wildly wrong, because I know they signed Anton Forsberg this summer, but man, Kenny Holland's got a soft spot for a redemption story. Kemper's 35. Like, they have a couple million. I know, again, they have Forsberg, so like it doesn't make sense for this year, but like, man, I feel like LA sitting there going like, oh, potential goalie of the future. Ken Holland doesn't care about getting criticized for that, as we saw in Edmonton. That makes sense to me.
I know they really like what Kemper brought to the table, both on and off the ice. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise. Again, it wouldn't surprise me if they've at least poked a little bit to see what may work there. I don't see it necessarily as a definitive option right now because of more so just Kemper and of course, yeah, Forsberg. You got a reliable backup to give Kemper a little bit of time off, but again, the dollars are going to factor in. This isn't going to be a $1 million contract, so not for Carter Hart anyway.
Yeah. Next spot I wanted to go. You were obviously down. You're in Toronto, Leafs Media Day. I think they're a fascinating team to watch this year because, there is some excitement about what a Matthias Michelli can bring. And, Berube talked about all the new guys they have. And while losing Mitch Marner, I think there might be a lot of people and maybe more so, I don't know, probably Leafs fans too, who are like, come playoff time, we're going to be better prepared. It's a new Leaf. But they also lost a 100-point player and didn't replace him. Like, are the Leafs in a position... Is there any world where you think they're competing for the top spot in the division, or do you think that loss of 100 points is going to be too much to overcome?
Well, I mean, a lot of it's going to depend on the big boys. Like if the captain, if Austin Matthews has if he returns to 50 goal plus pace, 50 goals, 100 points in that range, that offsets that loss a little bit. Are you expecting 38 goals again from Tavares? Probably not, but can he get to 28 to 32 range? Is Willie Nylander going to be pushing 100 points again? Is Nyes going to be a 70-plus point player? Like, if some of these other guys contribute, in addition to bringing in a little bit more physicality and jam to this lineup, I think they'll be in a decent enough spot to be in that top 3. I think Tampa's got a bit of an edge on their chip on their shoulder. Excuse me. And I think we're going to see a pretty decent season out of the Lightning, and they're going to definitely challenge for that top seed. Florida is going to be right up there as well, even without Kachuk for a few months. Full season of Marchand. You've got some of the young kids that are going to be given more of an opportunity, and you got Bob that's playing in a contract year, and he's already raring to go. I think he said today that the summer was already too long for him. So. He wants to go. So I think Toronto. I have those two teams up at the top in the Atlantic, but I think Toronto, with how they're performing, or the potential of their performance is going to really determine this do it by committee to replace, in terms of top talent, to replace what you're losing out of Mitch. And then how do the other pieces kind of fall into place? Is Easton Cowan going to be a guy that's going to jump into that top six right away? Can Michelli fit there? Is Domi going to fit there? He's banged up right now, so he's going to miss the start of camp. And the other factor in all this as well is Morgan Riley for me. His stock has dropped the last couple of seasons at least. But both Treliving and Riley acknowledged today that they had a nice little heart-to-heart at the end of the season, and he took his training regimen up a few notches this summer. I'm curious to see how he looks on the ice and how he performs with this club. If he gets back to that, what we saw out of him a few years ago, that could be pretty good news for the Leafs overall.
Do you have one more, or you want me to wrap?
You can go ahead.
All right. I was going to ask you a question about, what team could still be maybe itching to make a last-minute splash here. But if people go to thefourthperiod.com, they'll see your piece on the Montreal Canadiens. Do you actually think they can add another top six piece before the season starts, or is this trade market just drier than dry?
It's pretty dry. And I say that, and a trade's going to happen in an hour, and I look like a schmuck, but whatever. But I think everybody kind of wants to see where they're at. Is this guy able to fill this void? Did we bring in the right piece here? Does this player meet our new system, or his new system, and then go from there? But Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon were very open about their willingness to continue to look to improve this club and to continue to look to add up front in their top six, especially, and then perhaps drop some pieces down. Remember, Patrick Laine, it's going to be an interesting season for him. It's a contract year. He's a UFA next July. And that's going to be something that I think the Habs, their fans, and some of the other people around the league are going to look at to see, all right, how's he going to rebound? How's he going to do here in this season? And that may affect Montreal's desire to go after someone as well. I think top six more so than anything means second line center. I like the addition of Bolduc, certainly, but more on the wing. We'll see how Doc responds at camp. And if he doesn't, if he's still lingering a little bit, or they feel he is, then maybe that escalates their search for somebody in that slot.
All right. David Pagnotta from the Fourth Period, thank you for popping on. Excited to have you on throughout the season as well, and enjoy the rest of training camp.
You too, boys. We'll see you.
See ya.
Yeah, there you go. Thefourthperiod.com. Go there. Bookmark it. Put in your bookmark bar. I feel like that's a lost thing. No one bookmarks anything anymore, do they?
I do.
You still bookmark things?
I just bookmarked something earlier.
What'd you bookmark?
I bookmarked my...
The browsers are so smart now that the websites you visit all the time, you punch in the first letter and it just populates at the top.
I bookmarked my NHL betting award trends.
You're big. You're in your spreadsheet era.
I'm deep in my spreadsheets. My friends that are actually good at spreadsheets don't like talking to me about them anymore.
That's fair. Amateur hour.
Yeah, I'm not good at them.
Yeah, but what I would argue back is, are you ever listening to your boys talk hockey and you're like, guys, come on, boys.
Yeah,
a little bit. Sometimes. David Pagnotta on the Star Mechanical Guest Line, also brought to you by our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Once again, right in the heart of Sherwood Park, just up the road from Sherwood Ford, the Giant. All your outdoor needs at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. He kind of calmed me down with the McDavid stuff. I'm good. I'm chilling. You?
We're all good. Yeah, I've been fine the whole time.
You've been calm.
I don't know, every insider has been he's signing.
Yeah.
The only one that hasn't is good old Greg.
The egg?
Yeah.
Oh, Wyshynski.
Greg Wyshynski.
From Merrick versus Wyshynski Wednesdays.
M versus W Wednesdays.
Correct.
Twice a week now. 2 Wednesdays a week.
Yeah, well, 2 days a week. Wait. Are you Google Sheets or Excel?
Google Sheets. The company won't pay for Excel.
Yeah. Plus, I like being able to go on different computers and just pull it up quickly.
Yeah, it's easy enough.
Yep.
I'm fine. I know they are equals some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Really changed our reporting sheet when I took it over. I could put some equations in there and we're good.
Okay, let's get to what's trending. Brought to you by Oodle Noodle, 15 locations in the Edmonton area. Check them out online, oodlenoodle.ca. 10% of all proceeds from the hot tie box this quarter go to support our friends at Sports Central. Oodle Noodle, always helping in the community and always helping keeping you fed. We talked about Connor Ingram. Again, definitely a situation to monitor. I just think one of the calculations from the Oilers might be, and I'm not saying needs to be or should be, I'm saying might be, as this Connor McDavid thing goes on, if you're going to bring in Ingram, and I know, again, priority numero uno for everyone involved is winning a Stanley Cup. We also know Calvin Pickard is loved. I'm not saying liked. He's loved in that room. We're speculating him and Leon Draisaitl carpool to practice, and Pickard drops him off at the door and goes to park. But Calvin Pickard is loved in that room. If you bring in Ingram, especially if you were to somehow bring him in at his full cap hit, which would be hard to fit in, even though it's only 1.9, you're waiving Calvin Pickard.
Yes.
So, like, you're taking a risk here because, again, Ingram last season in and out of the lineup, we understand, player assistance program and all that. He went through a lot of stuff last year. I'm not like saying that as like a shot at him or whatever, but this is at the end of the day a goalie who played 22 times in the last calendar year. Do you view a 28-year-old who's played 22 times in the last calendar year in high enough regard that you risk disrupting your room to some extent and waiving Calvin Pickard?
It's a bit of a risk. By all accounts, Ingram has a pretty good personality as well from what we've seen. So maybe it would be a pretty seamless fit. It does come down to, do you think it's an upgrade?
Yeah.
And that's the difference maker, isn't it? And I think that's the way the Oilers will probably try to look at things, because last season, they all loved Pickard and they didn't win. The year before, they all loved him and didn't win. So it's about winning by now at this point. I think he's a good goalie, Pickard. I think he's a bit undervalued. I don't think he's an elite guy by any means, but when it matters the most, he goes 7-1 in the playoffs, and the one loss he got was pretty harsh one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's because they came back and then still lost, right?
Yeah, I think that was it. So whatever it ended up being. So, yeah, I think he's a fine goalie.
Yeah. And the chat's kind of like split on it. Like Rob says it's a huge risk with really not a huge reward. Oilers Freak says taking a bigger risk, expecting Skinner to bounce back. Well, you're kind of doing that anyways. Also,
I don't think it's a huge risk.
I'm also getting kind of excited for Skinny Stu.
Well, I think they've gone about changing the goaltending in a way that we didn't expect. Firing the goalie coach.
Yeah.
Bringing a new guy in.
They did what they kind of could.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, like with what they had. So, yeah, I would say they've gone about it in a way. Hopefully it works. I know Naeem is strongly against them still, but I hope they prove him wrong, and I'm sure Naeem and everyone else also hopes they prove him wrong.
All right. Stambo. Oh, let's get to a couple of, we're probably going to go a little long today, but a couple of quotes for our friends at the Alberta Teachers Association. We didn't have a chance to get into this earlier because we got carried away with the McDavid stuff, but the Alberta Teachers Association, did you know Alberta spends the least per student on public education in Canada, leaving schools underfunded and in crisis. Overcrowded classrooms, unmet student needs, and dwindling supports are driving record numbers of teachers to leave the profession. As Albertans, we cannot ignore this neglect. Our children deserve better. It's time to act. Advocate for increased funding and demand answers from your MLA. Why does Alberta invest the least in its students? Excuses must stop. For more information, visit stoptheexcuses.ca. We'll do some quotes, then we'll do what's trending. I know we're kind of all over the place, but there's a couple of things I saw that I think are interesting. Spectre tweeted this 2 minutes ago.
Mark?
Yeah. Stan Bowman on Zach Hyman.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to miss much time if he misses any, so I'm not worried about Zach Hyman.
Bowman's a liar.
Okay.
Bowman has to figure out this injury shit he's talking about, because Hyman already came out and said, I'm missing the start of the season, and I'm not putting a timeline on it because then that sets expectations. He did the same crap with Ekholm, saying he wasn't injured, and he was.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
we must be signing Carter Hart too. And Connor McDavid's not close.
Easy now. Easy. Yeah, Gregor did say Hyman won't be skating with the team the first week of camp, but he is skating, just not with the team. Hyman said he does not want to set a specific timeline to return, as he feels if you don't hit that date, then you get upset. So they're using 2-week blocks of progression, and said they have made those blocks thus far. Wrist is progressing well. Jake Wallman and what side of the ice he could play on. Gregor wrote that he does think Wallman will start the season on the right side of the Oilers' blue line, so playing his offside on a pair with Darnell Nurse. Wallman, speaking, said, off the bat, the right side is where I will stay for a bit. There are some things in the offensive zone that open up more on the right side that I can do on my strong side. Wallman expected to start with Nurse. There was also a quote that he just kind of said, and Knoblauch said, like, wherever he starts, we want him to stay there for a while. So they don't see Wallman as a guy that they're going to go right side, left side, up to Bouchard, down with Kulak, up with Nurse. Like, it sounds like their plan here, and we talked about how this is the correct way to do it. Stick him with Darnell Nurse. If you want to experiment with Kulak up with Bouchard and Ekholm down with Emberson or Stetcher, I'm totally down for that. But Nurse, Wallman needs to be a constant.
They played pretty well together to start Wallman's time here, right?
I think so.
I think so too. So I like that. I like just a bit of consistency in the lineup. Hopefully that can stay the same in certain other spots too.
On Chris Knobloch, he is heading into the last year of his contract. He said, hopefully we get something done before the start of the season. Gregor says, sounds like they're close on getting a new deal done.
Maybe that's what McDavid's waiting for.
He's
honestly,
like, listen.
Elliotte, we haven't talked about it at all. Is the new coaching stuff.
Yeah.
Entirely new coaching stuff besides Knobloch. That'll be interesting.
Yep. Bowman talking about Ekholm, Wallman, Kulak, Podkolzin, and Skinner. Stu, that is. We have had preliminary discussions with other guys going into the last year of their deals, but I'm not sure if we will get all of them done during the season, but we've had good discussions. That is probably the right mindset for them to have.
I think Kulak will go to free agency.
Yeah, I
did
would.
it the
Wouldn't
first
surprise
time
me.
he was here. If he has another good year, why not give it a go?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who was that? Was that Chester? Saravalli basically saying that Savoy is going to show McDavid whether this team has a chance for future success. I see, and like even the whole idea, like the start of the season will show if they're good or bad. I don't know if I totally lean into that. Like
I don't get it.
So like, is Connor McDavid after 4 preseason games with Matt Savoy going to be like, fuck yeah, 8 years, let's go, boys. I'm back. We're so back. No, like he's not going to do that. I think when we talk about them being able to contend for years, I think it is probably more of a philosophical thing for McDavid. He wants to hear the Oilers' plan, and then he's taking his time right now to decide if he's comfortable committing to that plan. That's what this is. I don't think he's sitting there being like, boy, if Matt Savoy misses a single one-timer in the month of November, I'm out. Also,
he won't because he's a great player.
Yeah, there you go.
Savoy's going to be great. The message from Frank Saravalli was with a solid showing in the rookie games, expectation is Matt Savoy will be given every opportunity to earn a top 6 role with the Oilers at camp. If McDavid has, I don't get this part. If McDavid has questions about Edmonton's future, he may personally get a long look at Savoy or Ike Howard on his line in camp.
All right, sure. Let's get to what's trending.
I thought we were in it.
We were doing quotes quickly.
Okay.
I did the Oodle Noodle ad read for what's trending. Then I remembered that we forgot to do quotes.
Gotcha.
So now we're back to what's trending.
Okay.
We didn't stay organized today. That's kind of on me. I am. No.
Well, we try and jam everything into an hour and know that we're going to go over.
I know.
But that's okay. Let's keep rolling. I got time.
Jack, Louie, and Gene all confirmed back for Sportsnet regional broadcasts. And I know what you're thinking. Who cares? Is Louie confirmed back for his weekly Oilersnation Everyday hits? And we can confirm, yes. Louis DeBrusk is back. He texted me, said he's fired up. It's actually not what he said. He just agreed to keep doing them. So Louis DeBrusk confirmed to continue to be one of our contractually obligated friends for next year. And I believe David Pagnotta is as well.
Great. It sounds like we have a good little crew this year.
We should have a good little crew. Mm-hmm. I missed a call from one of our other potential contractually obligated friends.
Who?
Former Oiler.
Oh, cool.
He'd be good. He'd be really good. Let us know in the chat. Is there anyone who around the hockey world who you'd like to be more of a consistent guest next year?
Could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
Wow. Most guys.
And I like Ennis, but I think he's still living in Europe. Makes it too tough.
Dad.
He's also a dad now. He also got married over the summer, I think.
He did. He got married last summer.
Ah, well, either way, he became a dad. We know that. Congrats to Tyler Ennis. I'd love to get Tyson Berry on. I think he'd be a great weekly guest.
Probably good. We have Dubnyk, obviously.
Doobie. Ryan Whitney. Whit is the busiest man in the world. Yep. So is Jason Demers. We're finding that out. But
it's not a good one.
Missed a call from Doobie. No, I didn't miss a call from Doobie. I know. I love Jason Demers. He's the best. Messier. Moose. Yeah, I think he had fun with us that one time.
Connor, look at this. That's what Connor's waiting for. He's like, don't put me in another commercial.
It's in his contract.
You have to do 8 more Rogers commercials.
Matt Tkachuk out till December from Bill Zito.
We already knew that.
The Sheet interview with Jeff Jackson dropping. Mm-hmm. Shout out to our boy Jeff Merrick in the Sheet.
Backlund signed in Calgary.
2 years, $3.25 million. Pretty cheap extension.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Pretty cheap extension.
Well, he is like 36.
Yeah, he is actually getting up there in age. That's good. Sam Gagner would be good because he works for Ottawa. I don't think he can.
Yeah, no, probably
does create
not.
A bit of an issue.
Not within the season, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Outside of it, maybe.
Okay. let's wrap up the show with some betting talk for our friends at Bet365.
One other thing we had to talk about and what's trending.
Okay.
How about that picture of Kyler Murray?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Did you see this, Reese? Okay. Hopefully people have seen it in the chat. Do you remember Michael Vick?
Yeah, the dog guy.
Yeah, the dog guy.
Yeah.
So Kyler Murray posted a picture of himself in a Michael Vick jersey with a dog.
That has to be AI.
No, it is one. He posted it on his own Instagram. I think Reese is grabbing a picture here. It was the weirdest thing. Like, buddy, you beat Carolina and New Orleans this season. Maybe.
Why would he do this?
Why would he do that?
Also,
Michael Vick went to jail.
Michael Vick went to jail for the dog fighting ring.
Yeah.
Why would you do this? It's so confusing.
There's a lot of layers to this. The biggest one being, what are you doing? Stunning stuff.
He might be an idiot. Also, short guys shouldn't wear the really long shorts.
Yeah, capris. No. I used to wear those. In England, 3/4 length pants are a huge thing.
But like 3/4 length pants
but
like that,
also
or like,
too,
the ones I'm wearing, like my joggers.
No, like like that. But maybe not quite as baggy. But like either way, like I'm a very average sized man.
Yeah.
Those are just pants for Kyler Murray.
But they're not, because they still only go down to his shins.
Just a weird man. What an awful
And for
thing
the
to
record, this show is anti-dog fighting.
do. Yes. Yes, strong.
I don't want anyone to get it twisted, all right?
What even jersey is that? It must be
I
college.
Don't think, there's no way he'd wear like a Atlanta Hawks jersey.
It must be. I think he went to Virginia, Michael Vick. So that might be a Virginia.
Yeah, that
shirt.
might be a Virginia jersey.
Either way,
They're regular shorts. Okay, as a dog
they're
guy
regular
and
shorts.
a pit bull guy, that's so bad. Yeah,
Yeah, it is bad.
yeah, it was like really dumb.
Yeah, he
like
did go to Virginia Tech.
someone should have stopped him.
Yeah, someone should have stopped that.
Someone said you boys shouldn't. Jordan says you boys probably shouldn't comment on fashion. Then he immediately deleted the message. But don't worry, Jordan, we saw it.
Are you kidding me, Jordan? Are you look at this? Despite the fashion conversation, that's not what the argument is here.
No.
Also, we're just wearing our work uniforms.
Yeah, this is my work uniform.
Yeah, my work.
The shirt's a little
Buy
baggy
this
on me.
stuff at Nation Gear.
Yep. Oil up tee. Buffalo Bills hat that only fits right after I get a haircut, so I can only wear it for like 3 weeks at a time. It's real tight on me. There's probably some gnarly lines on my forehead. But I stay dripped out.
Drippity drop.
Reese wears cool clothes sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes he'll show up with something and I'll be
Did you
like,
look at him today and think, not today. Not
wait,
today.
he's got like the light colored jeans.
Blue jeans, most people call
Like,
them.
yeah, but like very light blue.
Those are blue jeans.
Yeah, but you can have dark blue jeans.
Yeah, but those are what people would call blue jeans. Those shirts, what are those? Shoes, sir? Adidas.
Yeah. Yesterday he wore like an
Nice.
Anchorman t-shirt. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah.
I just wear V's gear on Nation Gear. That's all I had to throw out on my crew gear the other day.
Why? What happened?
End of an era.
Yeah.
I burnt them.
No, you didn't.
It was
You
it's like
donated
when
them.
you trade a player in your team.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Mitch Marner.
Okay, Bet365.
Yeah, because I have a trend.
Okay, Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Over to Liam. Liam.
So, the Buffalo Bills are 0-8 when the spread is double digits in their favor.
But you just said all the big favorites.
However, when the home team has a double digit spread on Thursday Night Football, they are 21-0.
Okay.
That's why trends are dumb.
Can I just simplify this matchup for you?
I've already done it in my spreadsheet.
Thank you. Like, why are you giving...
Because my point is that trend is stupid.
I know 48 hours ago, you were like, just look at the sheet. Now you're throwing trends at me.
I know, but that's the point.
Okay, what are we betting tomorrow?
We're betting the spread on the Bills, which I think is still 11
12 now on Bet365.
Oh, it's gone up. That's not good. But we should also bet the team total for the Bills, which I think is 30.
Yeah, they'll put up a 30. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is sometimes the Bills get bored.
But they're at home now, so I wonder.
No, they're in Miami. Oh no, they are at home. Yeah, they're at home.
That's why I think the Bills
yeah.
are the way to go here.
So let's do a little same gamer because I love the same game tool on Bet365.
Okay, so 6.5. Tease it down to 6.5. Can you get that low?
Oh, I wasn't even going to do. I was going to take it at 12.5.
Oh,
12.5 and the Bills team total 30.5. Or we could do 27.5.
yeah. Let's tease that down a little bit.
Okay, 27.5. And James Cook to score a touchdown because he's automatic. And Josh to throw for 225 yards.
No.
What do you mean no?
He only threw for 148 last week because they blew out the Jets. I would know because he lost my parlay. It's the only layer I missed. He had 148 yards.
Well, my same game parlay is plus 320.
That's it?
Cook TD, Allen 220, Bills to smoke them.
I
Yeah,
thought
that's
we were
not
going to
that.
get up to plus 500 at least.
No, you got to add in a little bit more for that.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, they're maybe if you added in like Bills to win the first half or something, but yeah, I do think the Bills are going to smoke them tomorrow. I'll probably just go real heavy on them minus 12.
Well, this is Mike McDaniel's last game.
You think he's canned after this?
Did you see how they
He
ended
sucks.
the Miami game?
Well, like no one talks to each other.
No. They literally... So, what's the running back called? HN. Had a great run. Looks like he got in the end zone, but he ended up stepping out of bounds.
Yeah.
So, they had a full review, whilst also during a commercial break. They got it all the way down to the play clock basically ended. They have to call a timeout. They went to do it again with 4 seconds left. They were still doing all these motions and guys aren't in position. It took them, like, they ended up being 1st and 20 and then got as far, the closest they got was like 4th and 12th. And they just didn't have a chance to win. They're so unorganized. And Tua came out today and said, I can't do half the things that Josh Allen does, which is true.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to say it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
they were
fair.
both 5th overall picks, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Josh Allen was a little bit later than that.
I thought he was 5th.
Thought he went 7th.
Oh, well, top 10 picks. Then.
Yeah. 7th overall by the Bills, 2018.
Two
Hell of a
of those,
draft.
Hell of a draft.
Baker went 1. Saquon 2. Darnold 3. Actually, all 3 of those ended up being good players, just not for the teams that drafted them.
Yeah, who's 4?
Denzel Ward, quarterback.
Good, but he was good.
Yeah, he was
He got
good.
injured.
Yeah. Bradley Chubb, sick.
Yeah, he was
Quentin Nelson, very good.
good. Yeah, a great lineman.
Allen goes 7. Roquan Smith goes 8.
Damn.
Yeah.
Best linebacker in the league.
The first bust wasn't until Josh Rosen at 10.
10. Who was 9?
9 was Mike McGlinchey from the Niners.
He actually had a pretty good
He
career.
had a good career. Minka Fitzpatrick, good. Vita Vea, good.
What year was this again?
2018.
What pick did the Lions have?
The Lions picked 20th.
Didn't they pick Jared Davis?
No.
Taylor Decker?
No.
I don't know then. Is that a lineman?
Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, Frank
There you
Ragnow.
go.
Just retired.
Oh.
Huge blow.
Crazy how quick careers are in the NFL sometimes, eh? Yeah, Bills are going to smoke him tomorrow. Blue Jays tonight. Trey Savage. We should have done the ladder play, Liam.
I know.
9 Ks in his debut. And listen, I have a tendency to maybe get a little bit too excited about players sometimes. I think he's going to win a Cy Young in his career. He's so good. And have you seen the
believe
numbers
it.
on his release point?
No.
Because he's so tall, and he has the highest release point in the majors.
Really?
So
How tall is he?
He's 6'4".
Wow, big
But he
boy.
throws like such a straight up arm angle. The ball gets released 7 feet and 11 inches on top of the high. And it just goes straight down. It's crazy. He's so good. And he got robbed of an immaculate inning, as Maynard says.
How are the Guardians doing? Are they going to make the playoffs?
They are so close. They're right in it. I'm rooting for our boy Eric Sabrowski. It's going to be tough sledding. They really, really need one of Houston or Boston to start losing.
Okay, so we'll see Eric probably back here in the next couple of months.
We could, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll get him on.
I'm always excited for that day. But yeah, right now the Guards are 2.5 back of the Red Sox.
Okay.
And there's only, 11, 12 games left in the season. The Blue Jays are now 4 games clear of the Detroit Tigers, and they own the tiebreaker, which means Toronto, with 12 games to go in the season, even if the Jays just go 6-6, Detroit would have to go 11-1 to catch them for the number 1 seed in the AL. Crazy.
Huh. Yeah, go Jays. I'm excited. I'll watch the playoffs. I didn't watch anything else. I'm definitely jumping on the bandwagon. But
No, that's good.
This your Savage guy. Will they throw him in the bullpen or will he be a starter?
So John Schneider talked about that the other day. Like, there's
That bullpen sucks, right?
it's getting better.
Okay.
Bullpens are fickle, right? They go through peaks and valleys. John Schneider talked about it. He's like, they're going to give him another game here, Leah Savage, obviously, but they haven't decided yet if it's going to be as a starter or if they want to see how he handles coming out of the bullpen in the majors.
Interesting.
So it's up in the air. Kevin Gausman on the bump tonight for the Blue Jays. I love them on the run line. this Ian Seymour guy is the guy pitching for Tampa Bay. He is not that good.
Seymour Butts?
I shouldn't say he's not that good. He's not that experienced. He hasn't played a lot this year. He's only pitched 42 innings. So yeah, I like the Jays to win again tonight on Bet365.
And they're down in Tampa.
In Tampa Bay, yeah, in the minor
Tampa
leagues.
Bay.
Well, yeah, it's somewhere in Florida. All right, that's a wrap on today's edition of the show.
Okay.
Friday, we might do lineup predictions because camp's underway. We'll have more stuff to talk about by Friday. And maybe we'll start to think about division previews. Maybe a bit too early.
Yeah,
maybe
let's get our idea nailed down.
Okay. That is a wrap on today's edition of the show. We will see you all back on Friday. Enjoy your next couple of days and oil up.